Bruna, calling in all my ancestors. Many ways to do it. I literally just said patrilineage. I got a notification from Inquiry, one of my other channels. Check that out. Anyway, thank you for joining me here. Today I'm just making a simple point. The spirit does not justify oppression. The spirit does not justify oppression. For the new people, I'm going to give you two pieces of information to help you understand me if you're unfamiliar. First, my government name is Chimoge Chijoke Ibe. Chimoge Chijoke Ibe. The last name is spelled I-B-E. Check it out. I'm trying to be quick here because I don't want to be here for this live too long. I have something I need to do. So that's the first piece of information. Second piece of information, my astrological sun sign is Capricorn. My astrological sun sign is Capricorn. So you can look that up. Look up the traits of Capricorn and you'll get a good sense about who I am. Really, I think more than most people, my sun sign describes me. Just think about it. And obviously, the parameters of astrology are not complete, but overall, it's a good source of knowledge. But because it's not complete, like the description of Capricorn does not describe me in its fullness. But I think, and that's true for anyone and any sun sign, but I think that it describes me better than most people's sun sign describes them. Because really, that's just about, I'll just say this. If your thing is a Madioha, if your being thing is a Madioha, then even if you're not a Capricorn, Capricorn will describe you a lot. Because basically, Capricorn just gives you the power of a Madioha, gives you the power of the god of thunder. And then if your thing is a Madioha, you're born during Capricorn, it's enhanced. Anyway, I'll go into that in more depth in the future. I see I've registered viewers. Thank you for that. Every view is a blessing. Thank you for all your comments. Every comment is a blessing as well. I read comments at my discretion. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now let me get into it. Forgive me. I'm just going to say this. I figured out that basically all the pain I've been feeling is due to hunger and improper nutrition. So I'm just working on getting more of certain foods, especially lemon powder and other lemon products. I find that does the trick. Anyway, just don't have everything together yet enough to get it all the time. So I'm here. And then also there's this history. But anyway, the title of this segment, the title of this installment of this segment, The Greatest Man Alive. And on The Greatest Man Alive, I make a point at least two ways. I put out the title, and then I'll repeat the title. So again, the title of this one is The Spirit Does Not Justify Oppression. The Spirit Does Not Justify Oppression. So now I'm the greatest man alive. Then I can add whatever I want, which is why this title is great. Again, The Greatest Man Alive is a translation into, I guess, language English speakers can understand for Kalakana. That's another name for God of Thunder. Anyway, why am I making this point? I saw a video, again, I haven't watched it yet, but I saw a video titled, basically it was the video title and the video art indicated that at least there was some discussion about Christianity justifying the past oppression of black people, which is obviously a vile idea. This is something that's been said many times, and it's not good. So I just wanted to put this up to say that's not good. Now, I can't say that Christianity does not categorically justify the oppression of black people, but Christianity is not a good thing. So that's not really saying much. And I'll leave it at that. But, at the same time, I think a lot of people use Christianity as a stand-in for the spirit in general, spirituality in general, and really, if you get down to it, the truth. So when people put out nonsense like that, they're really just saying the truth is, that stuff is good. False. It's just false. Now, are there individual spirits out there who think oppressing black people is good? Yes. Why? Because they're just some evil spirits. You don't need to pay attention to them. That's a minority of all spirits. And I'll leave it at that. And really, if you get down to it, most of those evil spirits should not exist. Because there's some evil spirits that have to exist in other realms because, there's nothing else. There just has to be a place for them. Really, they wouldn't even justify it, generally. Okay? And I'll just leave it at that. But the point is this. If you were to survey all the spirits in existence, the vast majority of them would not justify the oppression of black people that's happened over the last several thousand years on this planet. Just makes no sense. Then if you go deeper and just look at the truth itself, no way. And I'll leave it at that. This is a basic point. I'm just getting warmed up today. Let me move. Whew. Back. So I'm gonna go to really the 15-minute mark. And then I'm gonna do the other thing I need to do. The spirit. Let me go a bit deeper on what I mean. The spirit is a translation I have for what I call Ndi, N-D-I. Now, most people who speak my language today, from my reference point, use that to mean people. Upon my own thought, research, and talking to the spirit, to be general, I realize that that term really refers to the spirit. So if you're referring to a person as the spirit, and again, it's hard to explain this because whenever you're talking about very basic things, you will have to kind of mention the thing when describing it. But anyway, if you're talking about people, the only people you can refer to as Ndi are people who are spirits, as in people who are not alive in this world. If a person is alive in this world, either just call them a person or call them a life. Ndu. Ndu. If you go into it, the base verb of ndu is do, sit. So it's implying that you're sitting deeply. In other words, if you're alive, your being is very dense, as in you have a lot of stuff in you. If you look at D, that word means husband, but also it refers to the act of either stopping someone such that they look out into the world from the deepest, innermost part of themselves, or the act of doing that yourself. What that implies is you're kind of, I don't know if embarrassed is the word, but let's use that for a stand-in. It's like you're embarrassed, but it's not necessarily bad. It's like, whoa, that was crazy. So if you apply that to a being, that being is not as dense as someone who's alive. So, because after one passes away, or if you're a being that remains in the spirit, because there are a lot of people who just remain in the spirit permanently, right? And again, that's not bad, right? Most of those people are good. It's just a different existence. Although those of us who are alive need to focus most on our life. But again, our life intertwines with the spirit in a way I'm about to explain, right? After you pass away, or if you're a person who remains in spirit, your being is less dense than a person who's alive. Okay. So upon, I guess, more thought and research, although they really happened at about the same time, I realized that Ndi, the spirit, because again, initially I was translating it another way, but the best way of translating it is the spirit. Again, you could call it the state of being passed away, basically, right? Ndi is one of the 49 things that undergird existence. And I think I'm getting around to a place where I can better understand or more deeply articulate what I mean when I'm talking about those things. But anyway, the spirit, is the love of the life of this life, right? This life and the spirit are husband and wife, and they're also the love of each other's lives. Those are things, but they're people within them, and they manifest in different ways, right? So, when I'm saying the spirit does not justify oppression, I'm when I just saw 11:11. Let's make a wish. May we all grow, expand forever. But when I say that the spirit does not justify oppression, I'm really telling a part of the truth, but I'm emphasizing it to give out a certain resonance so that people who are focused on that point I'm trying to suppress get it. Again, people often use Christianity as a stand-in for the spirit. So that's what I'm doing there. Anyway, we move again. Once again, the spirit does not justify oppression. The spirit does not justify oppression, and that's any oppression whatsoever. So, anyone who says that any version of the spirit and or standing for the spirit justifies oppression is talking nonsense. Don't listen to them. I'll leave it at that. Expand forever. Ooh. One other add-in. I'll go into this in more depth in the future, but here's something to consider. Oppression would never make up for a wrong someone's done. So you can never say that what we're calling oppression is a punishment. And I'll leave it at that. That doesn't make any sense. And I'll leave it at that. So, you know, there's no justification for oppression. Fear does not justify oppression. Span forever. Thank you very much. Please patronize my business. I'm going to be out of here, but see you next time. Remember, check the About section. You can buy and donate as much as you want. Also, subscribe and share this message. Thank you.